What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is gonna be a quick drop. This is my review of the Queen Supreme Court. We know that it happened on Monday night. This week's guest judge was Funky Dineva. Now let me say something. Although I am sure that T.S. Madison means what she says when she says she's not going to have a permanent judge. This is the third time that Funky Dineva has been on the show. And they're also doing a live show in Orlando, I think this week or next week. I do believe that this is going to... They have a great chemistry. Let me say that. They have a really good chemistry. Because partly is because they're friends in real life. And so they can throw shade at each other. They can throw barbs at each other. And they know... Something that I felt like was missing in some of, I think I've said this before, that some of her guests either go too far or not far enough. And sometimes I think some of her guests were just downright rude and even disrespectful at times towards Maddie. And I feel like there's a perfect level of shade with the two of them. And they play off each other pretty well. I do still think that there are times when Funky Dineva overtalks Maddie or tries to take over the show. And a couple of times last night, well, not last night, a couple of times Monday night, Maddie had to say, well, wait a minute, let me finish my point, or wait a minute, let me say something. And I don't think it's out of rudeness. I think it's just out of excitement, like, I want to just get this out. I just got so much I want to say. We know Dineva's very opinionated. And Dineva and Maddie don't always agree, which makes for a good show. If you have a show, everybody's always agreeing, and that's just boring. There's nothing there. And so... I think that that's a good thing. Now, I do think that she mentioned that they're getting ready to start take the show on the road on a very regular basis. I really wish I could go to the one that's going to be in Baltimore, but I just can't swing it, y'all. It's just too much going on at work for me to take off work, and it's just no way I could go. I'm an old lady. I just can't go on a school night and get up and go to work. I just can't do it. So anyway... But I'm hoping that she comes to D.C. Now, if she came to D.C., I could probably do a weeknight show because I wouldn't have to worry about the drive back home and all that good stuff. But I'm definitely looking forward for that. And it looks like on her road shows, she is bringing back some of the more popular judges. Maddie pays attention. Maddie watches the reviews, and Maddie pays attention to what people say. And also, Maddie feels that she knows. She watches the shows back, I'm certain. And she knows what worked and what didn't work and who did well and who didn't do well. And I'm also... I wouldn't be surprised. I'm not going to... Because I don't know what she does or doesn't do. But I would not be surprised if she would talk to people that were on the show afterwards and say, hey, this was some of the feedback. I'm going to bring you back, but we're going to work on this. Blah, blah, blah. Right? Monday night's show was a good show. It was a very good show. There was some very good topics. One thing that, Dineva said was that they read the feedback, and they heard what people were saying. And one of the things that people said was to keep it to an hour, because when it runs late, then you want to watch the after show, and before you know it, it's midnight, right? That's honestly, again, I'm an old lady. That's why I listen to the show on my way to work on Tuesday morning. I'm not even going to lie. I stopped trying to watch it live on Monday night because, one, I would usually end up falling asleep on it. Not because it wasn't good, but because I was tired. Hold on. It was sorry y'all, but it was a really good show. They had really great topics. They talked about the Tamar on the Braxton's piece, and again, like Funky Dineva said, he did almost an hour-long video on it on his channel. So if you really want him to get in depth on how he felt, just flip on over and get that video. Oh, I was talking about the fact that they're trying to hold to a timeline, that they're trying to keep the show to an hour, and I appreciate that. Although sometimes if the flow is going and the vibe is there and y'all are having a good time, I don't want to end up ruining the chemistry because you're trying to hold to a timetable. But I understand the effort, and I appreciate the effort. What they said was that they were going to start doing, if they ran out of time, then they were going to flip it over to the after show and finish, reviewing some of the topics on the after show, which, yeah, we'll see how it works out. The other thing, like I was getting ready to say, the topics were really good. Like I said, they talked about Dineva. They talked about Kanye West. They talked about, I said they talked about Daniva. They talked about Tamar and Kanye. I think for the first time in about a month, they ain't talking about Cardi or Nicki. At least I don't remember them talking about Cardi. Did they talk about Cardi going to court? They might have talked about Cardi turning herself in and going to court. Or was that last week's show? I'm getting it mixed up, y'all. They talked about, it was another really good story they talked about. They talked about that police officer that we finally got a win, y'all. The police officer that went to jail for killing the black man. Great topics. It was a good show. It was a really good show. I like what I see. I think that Maddie has some really great things planned moving forward, especially in the area of live shows, which is something that, and I mean, not to dwell on the past, but that was the direction that they were going in before the big blow up, that they were starting to book live shows and they were getting ready to start taking the show on the road. And it's taken a couple of months for the smoke to settle, things to get to be where they're going to be, and it looks like Maddie is ready to start doing that on a more regular basis now, and I'm here for it. Like I said, I'm here for it. I think it's a great thing. I think it's a great thing for the fans to be able to go out and get a live show. So we'll see where that goes, you guys. But it was a great show. I appreciate it. Y'all know I've already said that Daniva needs to be in the regular rotation, and it looks like he is. Now I just need for Maddie to add some other people to the regular rotation, and every once in a while bring in some new people. But I think you could get a steady rotation. And I'm, here I am talking about her show. I ain't the producer, but I'm just saying, we could definitely add about, I think in the last 8 months that you've been doing this, it's been a good 7 or 8 people that I would say you could put in a really good rotation. Right? Y'all tell me what y'all think in them comments. Peace.